What do you anticipate happening this week and the week after as markets try to steady?
Right, well, I suspect it would be nice to find out where the Prime Minister's gone. I know she's off doing a tour.
She's actually doing some local media interviews this morning.
Local radio she's appearing on this morning, but she's not doing any national media. Right.
Well, I'm sure BBC Radio Shropshire is a riveting listen at all times, but it's not giving us a national picture as to what's going on. No, quite right, she should be out there on the doorsteps, actually telling as many people as possible, have confidence, we know what we are doing. So, that's fine, but she needs to get together all the people involved in this, and as we say, with this Bank of England, actually also the opposition as well. Here's the time when you actually need to bring in other people and say, we've agreed a way forward on this. Unfortunately, she's tend to have been much more sort of, I'm shock and awe, dynamic Tory leader going back to Tory bedrock stuff, cutting taxes and all of that. To row back on some of that and saying, actually, we're bringing everybody else in at the moment, sounds as though you're giving up. No, I think it should be put over as actually, we're going to make sure we're all together and create that level of confidence. Get that right. That's a help. The other issue you've got to do, which was addressed to an extent in the mini-budget, was with regard to the primary employer in this country, which is actually small businesses, to make sure they've got confidence. Because small businesses are run by quite often individual people who've got their house on the line, all those issues, and so to make sure they get going, if they find themselves not covered properly with the energy issue, and they've got a cap to it at the moment, we need to see the detail how that's actually going to work, but again, that's not the confidence out of them. And small businesses, we're really good at setting them up, and we do more than France and Germany. We're very entrepreneurial. So if you can do just those two things, that's a good start. After that, what's the primary driver for the British economy? It's the consumer. You and me and our biggest asset, which is probably our house. And so if you're actually seeing house prices start to wobble, maybe you can go down in key areas, then that affects everybody. It's not so much that your house has gone down, it's just you're aware of what's happening around and about. You like to know that your primary asset is still worth something.
Just very quickly, can they wait until November the 23rd? Can Kwasi Kwarteng wait until November the 23rd to publish his medium-length plan?
He can come up with more details then, but in the meantime, he's got to be reacting right now. Again, don't make it knee-jerk and frighten everybody. Just sort of sit down and say, look, this is actually what my plan we're going to be doing. In November, I'll give you more details. But I would, if I were him...
With forecasts?
I'm just coming out with some... And again, you can't be precise with them. No. But give an idea that we are in control. We know what's going on. The Bank of England's got bags of experience here, and we need to make sure we've got that confidence. Now, one issue we saw yesterday was the IMF, and people are very critical of the IMF because they gave lots of forecasts which are usually wrong. But on the other hand, IMF is well regarded around the world. It helps emerging markets or economies when they're in trouble. We're not an emerging market. And so, again, internationally, we look a bit embarrassed. So we need external people to be buying our bonds. And we've never, as a country, defaulted on our debt. We're highly reliable. Most other leading nations have at some stage. Even some of the states in America have done it. But they're saying is, yeah, OK, I'll trust you, I'll lend you some money, but the cost of it's going to go up. And that's another issue to look at, which we should be aware of, is how much this debt costs us every single year. 2 or 3 years ago, it's about 50 billion, which is a lot of money. That's the same as the defence budget. What the defence budget used to be, that's grown as well. Now, this year, it's probably going to be 100 billion. To put that in perspective, that's the entire educational budget for the United Kingdom. So that you've got to watch.